Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. I finished watching the first season of Invincible. It's a thoroughly good show on Amazon Prime. Please watch it. This is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it, watch the show, then watch my spoiler review, so you can see my and feel my expressions of how giddy I am about this show because I thoroughly enjoyed it. You see, some things can come across your lap and you had no idea that it was so fucking good because you didn't even have a hint about it, you didn't have a sniff about it. It just came out of nowhere. Everyone's talking about it, so I joined the bandwagon and watched this show, and I fucking loved it. By the end of the first episode, I was hooked. I'm sure you probably heard that from a lot of people who have been watching this show. I was hooked beyond belief. The way the first episode ended with Omni-Man, this character who's like Superman, basically destroying his own Justice League called the Guardians, killing them all the way he did it, crushing skulls, putting his fist and through bodies, ripping other bodies apart. It was fantastic, and the violence overall in this show had such a purpose to it as well. It wasn't just gratuitous violence for the sake of it. It meant something. In the final episode, when Omni-Man is fighting his son, yes, his own son, his name is Mark Grayson, also known as Invincible. He holds his head up to a train and lets the train go through their bodies, and Mark is watching all these people die around him because their bodies are crashing the train, and because they're superhuman, they're obviously not going to be hurt by that, but everyone else is inside the train. And it was just an amazing moment of watching gratuitous violence with a purpose, and that's pretty much this show. When the violence does happen, it means something. So it's not just there for the sake of shock value. You understand it. You know, in the final episode as well, when Invincible finds out that his father is an evil man, because Omni-Man is an evil man. He's from a race of aliens that go around conquering other planets. So when he finds out that's what his dad is, even though he's half that alien race himself, he's still a human. He comes from Earth. He was born on Earth, and he has humanity still in him, and he doesn't want to be like his dad, and he's begging his dad to change. And you see this battle between them because his dad is far superior than his son, and he's beating the living shit out of him, and his son can't do anything until he finally appeals to a little bit of Omni-Man's humanity, so much so that Omni-Man actually leaves Earth, and we don't see him for the rest of that final episode. But as it ties up, we get a feeling that there's more to come from this show, and luckily for us, there will be a season 2. During the whole course of this season, we got to see so many different and interesting characters, from Robot and the Mauler twins to Cecil Stedman, who was this sort of Nick Fury type character, who was very likable as well. Even Debbie Grayson, Omni-Man's wife, fantastic character, and not just a crying wife. You understand her pain. She was going through a lot of shit. We got subplots as well, from all these different characters. There was one guy, I forgot his name, but he was like a Luke Cage character, and we got to see a little bit of him as well. There's just so much shit going on. We had these aliens that come from a different part of a different universe, so to speak, and they're on a different timeline to us as well. So if they come to our Earth, they age too quickly, and in the course of a few days, they keep coming back to Earth because of the time differences. So even though you think they're gone, for them they're gone for years, but for us they're gone for days, and they come back all the time until Omni-Man finally deals with them. It's just amazing what this show is. It's so much superhero stuff. There's Young Justice in this as well. It's called the Teen Team, where Mark, aka Invincible, finally gets his powers, and he's a young superhero in the making. He joins obviously a young group of superheroes, all these teenagers and stuff, learning to be superheroes at an early age. So there's Young Justice there too. It's everything you want in a superhero show for adults, though. It's, when it comes to the animated stuff. So we got The Boys when it comes to the live action stuff, adult and show for about superheroes, and now we've got the animated stuff too. And even though this is animated, there's elements of it that harkens back to my childhood. At the same time, you don't want kids to be watching this, but if I was a kid, I would definitely have seen this for sure. It's fucking brilliant. There's not much more to say. other than if you know any other people who haven't seen this show, make sure they watch it. Something like this needs to be spread around because there's not much stuff like this. This reminds me of some of the anime I used to watch back in the day as well. You know, even some of the fights that, you know, like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, with them punching the fuck out of each other in the air and going through buildings and going through mountains and stuff like that. There's so much stuff it harkens back to, as well as it being very refreshing. It's so familiar, at the same time extremely refreshing, and that's the only way I can end this particular review, by saying that. Please leave a like, don't forget to share, and also comment as well. And if you haven't joined NerdTube, make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. I'll see you later. Bye bye.